All right, question from the YouTube. Yo, Todd, what would you do if you got in an argument with a girl with like politics or any arguments in general? Yeah, okay, so you generally do not want to be in logical arguments with girls, right? Why? Well, because it destroys the vibe, and even if you win the argument, she's gonna feel like bitter about it or not happy about it, or it's unpleasant for her. And she's gonna react a lot more to the unpleasantness than the fact that you won the argument and somehow displayed intelligence or whatever, right? So certain topics, they're just better to stay away from. Politics being one, specifically arguments about politics, but even just the topic of politics is not really helping you. So what you wanna do when you're in these kind of bad subjects is change the subject as much as possible, right? So if she does get into politics, generally the best way is just go off on a tangent about something else that's maybe related, maybe even unrelated, and just forget that topic even existed. That's your best preemptive thing. Just steer the conversation the right way. Steer the conversation towards intimate topics. Steer the conversation towards man-to-woman topics. Steer the conversation towards things that are going to actually lead to sex, lead to taking a girl home, lead to getting to know her, those kind of things. So first thing is change the subject. If the girl really is adamant about a particular subject, you can sort of kid or tease her about that subject. Be like, wow, here I am talking to a cute girl, and I thought I was gonna get into a little flirty interlude, not a political debate, but I guess that's how things go sometimes, right? So you can tease her or be like, I'm sorry, can you repeat that again? I was too busy objectifying you to listen to your esoteric political opinions, right? You can do things like that where you're just kind of teasing and pointing out the silliness of the interaction. Or be like, you know what, I'll tell you what, in 6 months if we know each other, I'll talk politics with you, but right now I'd just much rather stare and objectify you, right? Get to a better topic if you can. If you do get into an actual debate about ideally a non-politics thing, but you get into something that's a real frame battle or that is very back and forth and contentious, a lot of times you can go one step deeper to get out of it. And what I mean is this. There's a thing I call the you versus her frame. So let's say that rather than the politics battle, it's a battle of wits, where it's like you're doing, I don't need you, and she's like, I don't need you, I can win the frame battle, you can win the frame battle. It's very fun, it's very engaging. There's a lot of flirtation and banter back and forth, but the problem is, my frame is, I could walk away at any time and I'm high value. Her frame is, I could walk away at any time and I'm high value. We're both giving each other shit. It's very hard out of that frame to be like, cool, what's your phone number? Because as soon as you do that, you admit you do want something from her and she wins. Right? And so it's this problem where the fact of the conflict, while it could be fun and engaging, is not leading to a scenario where continuing the conversation or following up makes sense. In that case, what I'll do sometimes is I'll go meta. So I'll say, you know what, listen, I love the fact that we're both clever people. I actually really respect that. I don't even get along with people who aren't clever. But the funny thing is, I wonder if we can actually get along without being clever all the time. And I expect that after I say this, because I'm trying to be genuine, you'll probably have a witty comeback and I'll respect your witty comeback, but I think we can do better. I believe you have more to you than that. So, feel free to prove me wrong. Feel free to show that all you are is witty banter, but I'm curious. I'm curious if you can actually be real enough to just drop the banter for a second and open up. All right, you can do something like that and challenge her on it. And sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't. But at the very least, you've framed it in such a way that if she does come back at you with a witty comeback, be like, okay, cool, as predicted, the witty comeback. God, I hate being right all the time. And then you're still winning the frame battle, or you're still doing fine in the frame battle. But at least you gave it a chance to get genuine. You gave it an opportunity. So in general, though, you want to avoid pointless conflicts, right? You can have back and forth and banter that's increasing the sexual tension. You can have a little bit of disqualifying the girl so she doesn't know she can have you. Those are all good conflicts. Those are all good conflicts that increase the sexual tension or increase the plot line and the dynamic of the interaction. But talking about politics, it's just not going to lead to anywhere good. There's the 1% chance that you completely agree on something political, completely to its core agree on every little aspect of it, and maybe that brings you a few percent closer, but the odds of that happening are very small, and the risk of it going bad or badly is very, very high, and so it's just not really worth it. It's not a good choice of topic. You want to get away from it as soon as possible.